In 1873, a machine was unveiled that promised to change manufacturing forever. It was faster than any tool ever built, stronger than dozens of workers combined, and hailed as the future of industry. But within months, the man who created it would be dead. Not from illness, not from age, but from the very machine he designed. And after his death, something even stranger happened. The invention that was meant to dominate the world quietly disappeared from history. Tonight, we uncover the rise, the warnings, and the catastrophic moment that turned one of the most promising inventions of the 19th century into a forgotten nightmare. The Industrial Revolution was reaching its peak. Factories were expanding across Europe and North America. Demand for production was exploding, and engineers were locked in a race to build machines that could replace human labor. Among them was a brilliant but obsessive inventor named Edwin Harrow. Harrow was known for pushing mechanical design beyond accepted limits. He believed industry had grown too cautious, too slow, too dependent on manual precision. His dream was simple: build a machine powerful enough to perform the most dangerous factory tasks without human involvement. By 1871, Harrow began constructing what he called the Rotary Compression Engine. At the time, most industrial machines relied on simple back-and-forth movement. Harrow wanted to change that. His design used a rotating pressure system that generated enormous mechanical force inside a sealed steel chamber. It was revolutionary and terrifyingly unstable. Early demonstrations stunned investors. The machine processed raw metal at nearly triple the speed of conventional presses. Factory owners saw massive profit potential, and funding quickly poured into Harrow's workshop. But the workers who watched it operate were not impressed. They were frightened. Assistants working on the project began documenting strange irregularities. The machine produced violent internal vibrations. Pressure levels fluctuated unpredictably. Metal components warped under sustained operation. Several engineers urged Harrow to slow testing. He refused. Witnesses later described him as becoming completely consumed by the project. He slept beside the prototype, ate inside the workshop, and dismissed safety concerns as fear of progress. In early 1873, during a private demonstration, the machine reportedly emitted a deafening grinding sound before shutting down unexpectedly. Some assistants claimed the internal pressure gauges had exceeded safe limits. Harrow dismissed the event as a calibration error. But the next incident would be far harder to ignore. 2 weeks later, a senior mechanic inspecting the engine suffered severe injuries when a pressure release valve malfunctioned. The accident forced a temporary shutdown of the project. Investors demanded a safety redesign. Harrow instead accelerated testing. He believed the machine was close to perfection, and he was determined to prove it. On October 17, 1873, Harrow invited investors and factory representatives to witness what he called the future of automated industry. The demonstration took place inside his private manufacturing facility. According to surviving reports, the workshop had been modified to contain potential mechanical failure. Reinforced steel walls surrounded the prototype, and observers were positioned behind protective viewing barriers. The engine started smoothly. At first, witnesses described the machine as producing an almost hypnotic mechanical rhythm. Rotating cylinders compressed raw metal components with unprecedented speed. The audience was reportedly stunned. Then, the vibrations began. Engineers monitoring the pressure system signaled Harrow to shut down the machine. Several indicators showed unstable compression cycles. Harrow ignored them. He stepped closer to the engine, adjusting calibration levers manually while it remained active. Moments later, the pressure chamber ruptured. The explosion of mechanical force threw metal fragments across the workshop. Observers described a sound like a cannon blast, followed by violent structural shaking. Emergency shutdown systems activated too late. When workers reached the machine, Harrow had suffered catastrophic injuries from the internal mechanical release. He died shortly afterward. But the disaster did not end with his death. The accident triggered immediate industrial investigation. Factory inspectors documented severe structural design flaws. Engineers reviewing Harrow's schematics concluded that the rotary compression engine generated internal forces that could not be reliably controlled with the materials available at the time. The most disturbing discovery came from Harrow's own notebooks. According to archived records, he had predicted instability during late-stage testing. Several sketches showed alternative safety mechanisms that were never implemented. Historians continue to debate whether Harrow believed he could stabilize the system or whether ambition pushed him to ignore the growing risks. Following the investigation, investors withdrew funding. The project was permanently canceled. The prototype was dismantled, and within a decade, references to the rotary compression engine had virtually vanished from industrial records. Yet the legacy of the disaster would quietly shape engineering safety laws for generations. Industrial historians now view the Harrow incident as a turning point. The tragedy accelerated the development of mechanical safety regulations. Engineers began prioritizing stress testing, pressure control systems, and operator distance standards. Many of the safety protocols used in modern heavy industry trace their origins to disasters like Harrow's. The invention itself, however, remains largely forgotten. No surviving prototype exists. No complete schematics have been recovered. Only fragments of engineering notes remain in scattered archives. The machine that was meant to revolutionize industry instead became a cautionary tale about ambition outpacing safety. History remembers great inventions, but sometimes it is the failures that change the world the most. Edwin Harrow set out to build the future of manufacturing. Instead, his creation became a reminder of a dangerous truth. Progress can move faster than understanding, and when innovation outruns safety, the cost can be irreversible.